Government will not be borrowing any new funds from the savings of Barbadians over the next 4 years. Minister in the Ministry of Economic Affairs, Marcia Cattle, made this announcement as she addressed a seminar hosted by the Barbados Association of Insurance and Financial Advisors.
To put the impact of that in context, over the past 4 years, the government borrowed almost $2 billion. $2 billion of new Barbadian savings were drawn into and trapped by government debt. So where will the $2 billion of new savings go over the next 4 years? If we do nothing, these savings will compete for existing assets. So banks will be awash with more deposits than they know what to do with, and bank interest rates will remain near zero. Government bonds that seem plentiful today will be in short supply tomorrow.
Minister Cattle says the move is also expected to make it easier for those people who ended up with long-term bonds after the debt restructuring to sell those bonds for cash. It is also forecast to revive the real estate market. However, the minister says these things alone will not achieve government's core policy objective of economic enfranchisement for all.
We must not only enable all of our people to have, as we once said, a piece of the rock, but they must also have a piece of the action. A piece of the action, real economic enfranchisement means, for example, creating safe financial instruments with better rates of interest than those available in the bank, to allow Barbadians to invest alongside the public and the private sector in financing this country's development, and to allow regular Barbadians to invest within a framework that they can trust.
New international companies setting up in Bermuda will have to comply with new legislation as directed by the European Union. They have until July 1st to comply. The legislation, as we hear from ZBM, was designed to ensure companies are not only registered in that island, but also have a physical presence there.
With several business leaders in attendance to show the government their support, Finance Minister Curtis Dickinson keen to show a united front in response to the European Union in Brussels, which is trying to crack down on international companies avoiding the European taxman by setting up in places like Bermuda in which they do not have a physical presence with employees and a structure.
I'm very pleased to say that as part of our ongoing commitment to...
Minister Dickinson announced the government will be giving affected companies incentives to remain in Bermuda while at the same time looking out for Bermudian jobs.
The new EU Economic Substance Initiatives Program includes the application of the already in place new business work permit policy, as well as payroll tax relief. The government understands that the two things foremost in the minds of most Bermudians are jobs and the protection of Bermudian opportunities within our own country. Closed or restricted job categories such as front office receptionists or entry-level graduate or trainee positions will remain closed and continue to be protected.
Government is looking at these entry-level positions with international companies as a way for unemployed Bermudians to get back into the market.
The government is committed to working with these companies to ensure that unemployed and underemployed Bermudians will be ready and able to fill these posts.
Time now to take a look at how stocks traded on selected exchanges across the region.
We begin in Jamaica, where JMMB Group Limited, 6%, was the volume leader, trading 24,139 shares. They were followed by Proven Investments Limited and JMMB Group, 5.75%. In Trinidad, JMMB Group Limited was the volume leader, trading 100,000 shares at a total of $180,000. Grace Kennedy Limited and Trinidad and Tobago NGL Limited followed. And here at home, Goddard Enterprises Limited led the day's trades with 10,000 shares trading at a value of $3.73 each. They were followed by Sagicor Financial Corporation and First Caribbean International Bank.